one of the organizers here in 1 Million Cups, and I'd like to welcome everyone here. So 1 Million Cups is actually part of the Kaufman Foundation. We started back in 2012, and we have something like 120 different communities around the country that do exactly this. We get together, work in entrepreneurship and education to help increase opportunities that allow all people to learn, take risks, and to own their own success. Next slide. So we have a national and local mission. We work towards this mission through creating a consistent educational experience for everyone and each of the 1MC presenters nationwide, whilst we also like to highlight uniqueness and the value proposition in each local startup community. Now, like every organization, we have our pillars, and these are our four. We like presentations, not pitches. We're not here to give away money, much as we would love to. That's not the idea. We do believe in authentic connections, not purely networking. This is more of a mastermind environment. We are run for the community, by the community, and we are radically and intentionally inclusive. Next slide. So, as always, at this point, I'd like to welcome our visitors. So if you are new to 1MC, if you'd like to raise your hand, and we will call on each of you to tell us who you are and how you heard about us. And if you don't know how to raise your hand, let us know. Just scream and shout, we'll get you. Derek.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Derek Spruill. I'm from Silver Spring. I got here from a friend, Amy Trout Hughes. I work in the solar industry. I'm a solar energy consultant with Boundless Energy. So I've been doing that with them for about a year now. Previously, I was in the hemp and cannabis industry for about 10 years until things changed here in Maryland, which got me here. And I don't know, I like it. I love it, actually.
Good. Well, welcome, Derek.
Thank you.
Brian Heller, would you like to go next?
Sure. Hi there. I'm Brian Heller from Outside GC. It's a virtual law firm. I've been practicing law off and on for about 20 years. I say off and on because I've also done business development, corporate development, worked in startups, done private equity, and then come back to the law. So I've kind of left and come back. But I'm a corporate lawyer, a deal guy. I help people with their contract drafting, review, negotiations, and the like. I found you guys online, but I honestly don't remember where. Sorry about that. What else am I supposed to say? I'm in the Northern Virginia area. I'm in Tyson's Corner, Virginia, but I practice nationwide.
Excellent. Well, welcome, Brian. Glad you could make it this time. Anyone else in the room who is new? Deborah, I'm not recognizing Deborah Lansdowne. Are you new to our community?
I am new to the community, but the name of my company is A Pinch of Time, and I heard about you through Jen Dalton.
Lovely. Well, welcome along. Anyone else? Nope. Okay, let's move on. Next slide. So we always like to make sure that we capture all our attendees in any way that we can. So you have an opportunity here using the QR code to actually register yourself. This helps us show the Kaufman Foundation that we are indeed doing what we say we're doing, and allows Jen and the rest of the team to get the swag that we need to give away. So you'll see this QR code multiple times during the 1 hour that we're going to be together. If you don't catch it now, you can actually go and catch it later. Next slide, please. And as always, these things never happen by themselves. What you see on your screen now are all the organizers that make this happen every single week, along with our brand ambassadors. There is an opportunity, if you want to be an organizer, to actually put an application in. We'll talk about that later. But this is it. This is the team. This is the people that make it happen. Next slide. So we are celebrating our 6th anniversary. And we've made a point of recognizing a couple of people each week through February. And I am going to hand over to John Rutenberg, who is going to tell us who the two are for this week.
Fantastic. Thanks, James, and welcome and good morning. Hey, it's my honor first to highlight Dan Lender. What a nice gentleman. Dan's business, Golden Rule home watch and concierge says it all. I've known him a lot of years. He lives by the golden rule. And when you think about the business he's in, people who have multiple houses put their trust in Dan Lender to take care of their Northern Virginia home while they're off gallivanting wherever. But Dan exudes the trust factor, so hats off to Dan. He's almost a charter member, maybe not right at the beginning, but pretty darn close to the very beginning of 1 Million Cups. So thank you, Dan.
Thank you, John. Very nice words. Thank you very much.
So the second person is the most important person in this room every week because she makes it happen. Her name is Jen Dalton. And of all the organizers, she's really the most amazing. We're all great, present company excluded. Dalton is the glue that keeps 1 Million Cups meeting every Wednesday and producing phenomenal programs. As an individual in the community, she gives to charity, she gives to business, she gives to each of us. She really is remarkable. And please always tip your hat, clap for Jen Dalton. She's the best. So thank you, Jen.
Thank you, John. Yeah, two amazing people for sure. So thanks for sharing that, John. Really appreciate it. Next slide, please. So we have two sponsors of the 1 Million Cups. I'm going to ask the amazing Jen Dalton to talk about Mason Enterprise, if you can, Jen.
Absolutely. So Mason Enterprise Center is just off of 66 south of Vienna. I'm going to put a link to their website. The reason we should all care about Mason Enterprise Center is one, they are a location sponsor. So the first Wednesday of every month, we meet in their large training room. So please join us the first week in March. In addition, they are a fantastic incubator. So if you have a business that is interested in scaling, navigating the government business space right now, which is interesting to say the least, they can be a great resource along with their 18 mentors that are dedicated to members of Mason Enterprise. So I put a link in chat to their website. They also have several events coming up. I'll put those in chat as well, from how to launch a podcast, also to how to exit your business. So if any of you are navigating those questions or anything in between, please check them out. Eddie Hill is a fantastic resource. I'll also drop his email in chat. So if you want to reach out to him, you can. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to James to talk about Impact Business Solutions.
Thanks, Jen. So yes, Impact Business Solutions, we are the coffee sponsor for this month. I'm James Lawson, the co-founder of the company. And Impact Business Solutions, we are a coaching and training company specializing in working with early stage businesses, particularly around marketing foundation, client acquisition, and client retention. We also offer fractional sales, meaning that if you're looking for a director of sales to work on a fractional basis in your organization to help you grow, that is something else that we do. So yep, very happy to be the coffee sponsor for this month of February. So thank you so much. Next slide, please. So a little bit about how this is going to work. In a second, we are going to have our guest come and present. We will then move into a Q&A where we can ask questions, give guidance. We do request that everyone be nice. Not that you won't be, but we would reinforce that we'd be nice about giving guidance. During the time, if you're not actually asking a question, please make sure that you've muted your microphone so we don't get any background noise. That would be awesome. Next slide, please. And so here is our presenter. And I'm going to go back to John Rutenberg again. John has been working on this. So John, would you like to just give a little insight to our presenter,
Sure.
please?
So we're very lucky. Thanks, James. We're very lucky. Ayman has stepped forward. Ayman is a very experienced software developer. We were having a discussion one day, and we talked about the real developers are are agnostic to the software they're programming in. And when he had said that to me in different words, and when I said it back to him, he smiled, and it said to me, this man is the real thing. So Ayman has changed careers. He had worked on some very large projects, utilizing his technical expertise and over time becoming the project leader of teams, building software development projects for Montgomery County, for Bank of America. And recently he decided to venture out on his own as an entrepreneur. And he's here to tell us about his challenge and to explain about a little bit about his expertise. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Ayman. It's all yours, sir.
Okay, thank you for having me. Can I just share my screen just because I say I have made some updates on the presentation, if that's okay.
Should be.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm not able to do that. It's disabled.
Okay, let's see who has that ability.
You're good now.
Okay.
Okay, good. One second. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today. Thank you, John, for introducing me. My name is Ayman Anaam. I have started my OneReason company. To provide solution software development. I will start with the challenge questions because it's the first screen that I have. So my challenge is how can I bring my business its first client, and how can I overcome the fear of communicating my services, and how I define and communicate my unique selling proposition effectively. So about me, OneReason is with 16 years of experience in software development. I specialize in building scalable web applications and custom software solutions and services integration. I founded OneReason, a software development company, a consulting company focused on delivering enterprise level solutions that drive business growth and are tailored to each client's needs. This is a brief about me and the company, and I have founded that company on 25 this year. I mean February 25, and I'm located in. I can work anywhere, but it's located in Northern Virginia, in Linden, so it's a local company. Any question till now? What problem does our business resolve? We develop and integrate custom web applications that streamline operations and boost efficiency and reduce costs for small to medium businesses. As a new launched business, we generate revenue through project-based fees for custom web applications and integration services, focusing on delivering high quality solutions while building our client base. This is the way that we are generating our revenue. What is our value proposition? As mentioned before, we specialize in developing and integrating custom web applications to solve specific business challenges. Additionally, we provide expertise and guidance to maximize the business investment. Our ideal client is small businesses that seek small and to medium businesses that seeking custom software to enhance their day-to-day processes and streamline operations and gain a competitive edge through their provided services. unique value, we are specialized in, as mentioned also, that's the game, software solution tailored to each business clients with their unique requirement. The thing that differentiates us is bringing the deep technical expertise to every project. We build also a long-term partnership based on trusted value. We all provide tailoring solutions to solve specific business challenges, not just writing a code. That's by providing our expertise and understanding the business domain. And based on understanding the business domain, we provide the custom solutions to the client so they can benefit from that. And based on that, we can manage those requirements and solutions to be delivered. We target small to medium, mid-sized business or government contractor and non-profit organizations with 25 plus employees looking to customize their solutions. We are seeking businesses that seek to automate their processes and enhance customer engagement and drive the innovation through tailored software. Our market channels will be focused on targeted email campaigns, SEO, driven content, and digital ads to reach decision makers to actively searching for custom software that was actively looking for a custom software solutions. Our competitors, we have three sectors here. The first one, who is the other custom software developers who provide off-the-shelf software. We will deliver on time. How we compete on that, we will deliver on time and on budget custom software solution by prioritizing clear communications and business alignment and express project management. That will be unlike the freelancers or off-the-shelf software. We will develop a solution that seamlessly fit to the client's strategic objective. The other competitors is the freelancers. So we will minimize project risk with the structured project management and clear communication with ongoing support. It's unlike the freelancer who deliver reliable, maintainable software solutions aligned with the business goals. And we also search for the business that uses spreadsheets or manual processes. We will empower the business to break free from inefficient manual processes and generic software with tailored software solutions. We will automate the workflow and improve efficiency and deliver a perfect fit for the client's need. How we mitigate those? How might we leverage competitors to expand our business opportunity? We will do the partnering with business that rely on the third party, their off-shelf software, but needs a custom extension. So we will provide you with a custom extensions to the software that you have. We will provide a special consulting where their solutions fall short if they need something that is not available in the software, helping the client to maximize their existing investment. Also, we will offer integration services to bridge the gap between multiple tools, including competitors' products. And we come back again to the challenge question that I already mentioned before. Thank you.
Excellent presentation. I'm Melinda, and I will be facilitating the conversation. Just a reminder, raise your hand if you've got a question, or put something in the chat to me, or jump up and down so that I see you. I know James has a question. Ask your question and then make it quick so that you ask it and give Ayman a good chance to answer it, and then we'll go on to the next person. If you've got multiple questions, ask one and then put your hand up again. I've got James first, Amy next, and Brian after that.
Ayman, thank you for that presentation. So when we talk about software, it's a broad-based thing, right? Writing code, doing what you're doing. Can you give a really brief example of a case study, even though I know that you're new in business, but can you give us an idea of what that might look like in reality, like what you might do?
You mean the experience of delivering a software, right? Just to make my understanding correct, right?
Yeah, I mean, an example of what that might look like in the real world.
Yeah, let's say, for example, I will give you in general use case. While I have I work with different organizational companies. Let's say if you have a business that is, let's say, for example, you have one. I will give you one real example that I work on. One company approached me that they need to find a way they can track their container shipment, because they do that process through the Excel sheet. So they have a problem because they cannot track that shipment correctly. I mean, yeah, you can go onto your Excel sheet and enter the data. Then the next day you come back again and then check all the data and check if the arrival is soon or not. But that is like exhausted process that you can't do. You will waste some of your time just by opening the Excel sheet and find out where is the nearest arrival containers. What we did, we agreed to provide to that company a software that a dashboard that through that dashboard they can automate their manual process by entering the shipment data and their arrival date with the payment requirement. Those information help that business to streamline their manual processes and cut off the waste time, so that they get more time to focus in their other business requirements. So that software, just once they enter the data for the shipment, that application will notify the client if they have a shipment will arrive, let's say within 10 days.
All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's great. That's perfect.
I mean,
Thank
that
you.
is a very quick example. We have more complicated example than that.
No, perfect. Thank you.
Next, we've got Amy, Brian, Ken, Reggie, and then myself.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm and appreciate the information.
Thank you.
I come out of IT space in a former life. And one thing I'm curious about, obviously in Northern Virginia, a lot of developers. And being agnostic doesn't necessarily mean that you can be everything to everyone. Curious about industry-specific focus, if you have a preference and what it is. Thank you, and I will mute myself.
Yeah, this is actually one of the things that I got a challenge on it. So I was firstly I was focusing on government projects, so to be as a third contractor with the government. But I found that maybe the challenge with the companies that already there will be challenging. So what I did, actually, I focused on the local company that needs to customize their software. Let's for example, I was looking for chiropractors and study their cases, let's say what challenges they have. And based on those challenges that they have, I can provide them with a solution that will help them to get more leads and streamline their data entry.
Next, we've got Brian, Ken, Reggie. Jen, you can go before me and then me.
Ayman, thanks so much. That was a great presentation. I particularly liked how you did, you talked about you anticipated questions about the competition, how you differentiate, how, you stand out, and how you work with competitors too. I like that. My question is about that. Have you ever thought of working with someone like a law firm or a lawyer as far as, you offer web and app development services that your customers also probably need a privacy policy and a terms of use with that, piece of work or that app, and we could refer customers to each other. I'd love to explore that offline.
Yes, yeah, sure. For sure, yes, I can do that. As I said, I'm just starting my, challenges. Those challenges is to go and provide to the different type of customer my services. It's not just only focusing on one sector. But what I mean, I'm trying to find the real challenges those businesses facing. So based on that, I provide them with the solution. I mean, like let's say, as mentioned here, that Northern Virginia has too many developers. How you can compete with them? I cannot compete with Microsoft. I just need to focus on one thing that Microsoft provide. And let's say, for example, if they have an office, they have Outlook. Outlook will not give you all things that you need. Just I need to resolve one issue on Outlook, then I provide it to the customer. So I be specific on that thing. So for sure, I can work with the lawyers to provide them with the best solution they have, and to automate their processes based with a best practice, let's say, and keep their privacy, the client privacy high.
Ken, you're next, then Reggie, then Jen, then me, and then Rachel, and then John. Of course.
I'm very interested in your new business. Like many people around here, I'm a refugee from information technology going back quite a long ways. And I've done my term as a heads down keyboard artist, among other things. But I want to address your question about how can you overcome the fear of communicating your services. I originally came to 1MillionCups to help people with their presentation skills by recruiting for my Toastmasters. And Toastmasters is a worldwide organization that takes people who are not as happy as they'd like to be with their communication skills, primarily their verbal communication skills, and helps them to elevate their verbal communication skills, giving them the confidence to create and deliver the message that they want to deliver in an effective way. So that's one of my suggestions for overcoming the fear of communicating your services is the Toastmasters organization. The second thing is you need to be really excited about what you're doing. So let me ask you a question. After having a comfortable career working for other people, you jumped off the cliff into this entrepreneurial environment. What was your motivation? What excited you about that? Why would you do that? What fires you up?
Yeah, actually, the passion to have my own company, the passion to work for myself, because always I think about why, I'm sorry for that, why should I work with a company they taking from my time 8 hours while I can do that for myself? Why not I'm being the employee of myself? This is my passion, to build a software company that provide the services to the client as easy as it should be. I mean, I need to take the barrier from those, or the headache from those companies, and provide them with the solutions that will fit their need. Why do that? Because I like to do that, because this is my career future,
Welcome to the light side.
Next, we've got Reggie, and then Jen, me, Rachel, John Norris, Alex, And John Foster. Wow. So you guys be quick with your questions.
Yeah, great presentation, Ayman. Thank you. What I was gonna say is, so I went to your website. I think it's very feature heavy, and I would focus on emphasizing the benefits of people working with you. I think there's a couple of ways you can sort of talk about what you do. You mentioned automation. I also think people have a lot of questions around AI integration, and then security and privacy. So those are problems that I know people are having that you could present solutions for. And then I think lastly, just like you can help people do things that they really want to do, but they don't think are possible, either from a technical standpoint or a financial standpoint. Like you can make that realistic for them. And so I would emphasize how in your first consultation with people, it's really like a brainstorming, like vision session where they can talk about their problems, and you can help them see the possibility of how you can help them solve it. Because a lot of people just know they have the problem and they don't even think that there's a solution, but you can make that happen for them. So I would kind of change how you show up in the sense that it's not just a first baseline consultation, but it's really an imagination session where you take this business owner from having a problem to being able to envision a solution that you can help them create. So that's what I want to share. Thank you.
Thanks, Reg. Jen, you're next.
Thank you. Two things I would point out. One would be, I think doing that imagination session, I love that phrase, is a great way to assess what do people need and what solutions might they use. But I think where your unique selling proposition could come into play, many business owners are trying to figure out at some point, how do they sell and exit, and how do they increase the value of their business? If you're building a custom platform that stays with the business, it's not some other tool that anybody can use, that can create a ton of value for that business owner while they're using it, but also if they want to be acquired later. So I think technology is a powerful tool. If that's something you can help them build into their intellectual property, patent, maybe the process for how you're transforming data. But even if you don't, if a business has its own proprietary platform and it's built well, that can be very compelling when it comes to exiting later and creating a really unique competitive advantage, because they're not just taking something off the shelf, which any competitors could have. They have something that's unique to them. So just a thought as far as how you message this, something to think about.
Yeah, thank you.
My question is, what person in an organization do you usually call on? The CFO, the IT department, the accounting department? And the reason why I'm going through that is a lot of organizations update their software and they want to integrate it into all the different businesses in their companies. My husband went through one of that. He was with an association. So if you could figure out an industry you wanted to call on and specialize, or look at some of these industries specifically, they all have trade shows, and you could be a keynote speaker. You could have a trade show booth there. You could do breakout sessions and things they need to consider while they're doing the upgrades to their existing software. There may be a lot of things you can do with that as well as trade shows.
Yeah, I can say at the beginning of the call, the presentation, there's something about language agnostic. So the main thing that I'm focusing in is not about the language itself. I know some client will say, okay, I need to use that language better than that language. I know that their need, but I can provide to them language by itself is not a big deal. What is the big deal is that you get the value that you are looking for. So we need to strip out of this, headache from your side and keep it with ourselves. What I mean is, I will give you the solution that you are looking for. Then we will provide the technology stack that will solve your issue. Any technology stack is going to solve that issue. I mean, I can't think about a very complicated application that will make a complex calculations for you, but you need that to be much as big. So we can provide you with the language that will deliver the value to you. I mean, what I mean is the problem that when I'm discussing, have a discussion with the client is how I can resolve with you, resolve that issue for your business and drive or deliver a value for you. It's not just about the language. It's just about the value that you will get. Because let's focus on the value, not focusing about the language that will deliver the value.
Next, we've got Rachel, John Norse, Alex, John Foster, and Maria, and then Brian again.
Rachel, you're on mute.
I think I'd get better at this. So I was just saying, unfortunately, I did not get to hear the most of your presentation, but I did hear the part where you said you were going to be working with government, but then you decided to switch platforms. But I do have a question. Are you SWAM certified?
Sorry, you said communicating Scrum?
SWAM, the SWAM.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's for small minority-owned, women-owned businesses,
Mm.
and it's so you can do. It's a very easy process, and I'm happy to walk you through it.
Okay.
But it's for doing business within the state of Virginia, with Virginia or with other government entities in Virginia.
Mm.
I don't know if you know this, but 40%, the Virginia has to do 40%, I believe, contracted work with small businesses.
Mhm.
And so it does give you an advantage over, you can bid on contracts between Microsoft and you, and as long as you meet the criteria and their prices and things like that, they ultimately have to choose a small business over the big guy. And so that might be helpful to getting your foot in the door. Once you get that first contract, it's getting that first contract that's the hard part. But
Yeah.
once you deliver successfully, getting the next contract is a lot easier. So looking at how to get SWAM certified might be a great way for you to get involved with the government and local government. Fairfax County has their own, which is also a program that would help you. They also have to choose small businesses. They have a certain percentage that they have to choose to work with as well. So if you have more questions about that, I'm happy to help. And a big thing that's coming up is we're having Fairfax County is having a small business forum on May 29th. And this is a great way for you to meet a lot of the Fairfax County entities to do with them. And that's available for everyone as well. So
That will be great, actually. Yeah. I'm interested in that when.
Yeah, I think somebody put it in the chats
Okay.
as well. And I have a direct contact if you need help making that happen for you.
Yeah, sure. I will.
Next, we've got John Norse, Alex, John Foster, Maria, and Brian.
Hey, Ayman, I may echo, I think, what Alex mentioned, but just maybe in a different light. But if you're going to embrace small companies and small business, and that's going to be your target, then your messaging on your website shouldn't be so like we're this bigger organization and we can have, because that's not you. And you're not going to be sending your message to your consumer. I think what you really need to do is spend time to figure out who your consumer is, work backwards and put that messaging on your website, your social media. And don't hide behind the fact we're a small company. We love small companies because we understand what you are and what you face, and that we give you big company value, even though we're a small company. I mean, you have to give something to the small business that can relate to you so that they would use your services, because I don't get that feel when I look at your website today.
Okay. That's a great advice, actually. I need to work on more on my website, actually.
Next, we've got Alex.
Hey, I'm on. Great presentation, by the way. Learn a lot from your business. I want to answer your second question and then the first one. How do you communicate, your services to overcome your fear? There's a lot of information on your on the slides you presented to us. So you can probably take some information from like the problems you're solving to businesses, and then some value proposition, and create like a talking points, like a bullet points of information that you can convey to your potential clients, and create like a 30 second or like a minute um, uh, pitch, elevator pitches, so that when you talk to someone going around your day to day, or maybe to a chamber of commerce, you just talk to them, tell them your the talking points, the elevator pitches, that can help you bring in your first client.
Okay. Thank you.
John Foster.
Good morning, Ayman. Thank you so much for your presentation. I appreciate it. It's always great to meet new people. So the one thing which I'll say, which won't be surprised to most people on this call, is my question about LinkedIn for you. And I think I found your LinkedIn profile. And if you think about it from a leverage standpoint, LinkedIn is going to help you do two things. One is reach out, from an exposure standpoint. I mean, that's where so many people go very first thing when they meet somebody. And so having your LinkedIn profile talk about what it is, your message, and that's what part of what we're talking about here is your messaging. So LinkedIn is going to force you to answer that messaging question, but also from a sheer exposure standpoint, I think it'll be helpful to you, going back to your first client, because the more exposure you can get, the better off you're going to be as far as finding that first client. So LinkedIn is going to help you. I think it'll force you from a messaging standpoint, also give you more exposure. And if I can be of any help, let me know.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I think I will need.
Maria, then Brian, and then John Rutenberg.
Yes, thank you very much. And I knew that John Foster was going to get to that really quickly. I was hoping to beat him to the raise hand. I think, and I've been through this, is something I actually presented a couple of weeks ago. And in order to be able to present, I looked for resources to find and fine-tune that ideal client. It's very important, because if you don't understand that, you cannot get into their heads. Another idea I have is for you to have case studies, and by you developing those case studies, it's going to be able to, you are going to be able to see who you're helping and who your clients, or where you want to head off. And I don't know what you're doing with marketing, but if you concentrate in those 3 points, you will be able to fine tune and get clarity on that.
Thank you.
We've got Brian and then John.
Yep, and John and Maria stole my thunder a little bit. I'll say the same thing, but a different way. I think using both LinkedIn and case studies, not only on your profile, but also to post frequently, maybe once, twice a week, post a case study of what you've done in the past, a problem you solved, a technology you built, or something like that. Even if it wasn't with the new company because it's new, but in your past with another company, I helped a client solve this problem. I think that would be very useful. And then you build a library. You're not going to get a client the first one you post, but if you do this over the course of weeks and months, all of a sudden you have a library and you build yourself out as an expert. The other suggestion I was thinking of is, maybe, have you thought about marketing yourself instead of project-based, I can build this stack for you, as like a fractional CTO? Because I think a lot of the inertia, especially small businesses, have. If I buy this technology from you, if you build this product for me, will it be obsolete in 3 months, 6 months, because now there's new AI, and who's going to update it for me and when? And so almost like a subscription service rather than a project service, you're a fractional CTO, you can build it for them and maintain it and update it. Maybe that's a different way to market to a different audience.
That's a good idea. Also, regarding the LinkedIn, yeah, I'm working actively on the LinkedIn. Currently, I'm trying to build my network or grow my network base. So that takes a lot from my time. But for sure, I'm trying to target the company at the moment. As one of the things that I will do actually will focus on the case study, as you mentioned. That will help a lot actually.
Add testimonials to that. And make them video if you can, because people like video.
Yeah.
And next we've got, I just lost all the.
And slideshow carousels work really well on LinkedIn too. Like a
I
PDF
tried
with-
actually different type carousel or either images. Some of them is go viral, some of them not going viral, but I'm trying to balance. But my network is growing now. It's getting bigger and bigger day by day. But it's competing. I know it's difficult to compete with the people already there, but I'm trying my best actually.
Next, we've got John Rutenberg.
Thank you, Ayman. Really appreciate your work and love watching your presentation as you refined it. So one of the strengths you have that I've observed is you're humble. And humility to me is a great strength. It also sometimes makes people shy or maybe be afraid to be confident.
Yeah, that's true.
So as you narrow in on your value proposition and to quote John Norse, to focus on that small business person's problem and explain it in a couple of sentences. After you've practiced it a couple times in front of the mirror, you'll gain confidence and you won't have the fear. So after today's meeting and before next Wednesday's meeting, where you'll be a regular attendee, right? Because we've talked about this. Welcome to your new community. You will watch the video and begin to form a couple of priorities because you can't do everything.
Yes.
And you did amazing.
Thank you.
And focus on item 3, that value proposition. And when you're confident in that, the fear will disappear, leading to that first client. Truth be told, he has a first client. It's somebody he knows he's doing some work for, but that's a start. Okay, that's just insider information. But again, what I learned about Ayman, he's incredibly humble. And that's wonderful, man. So
Thank you.
welcome to our community. I look forward to hearing your ideas for other people starting next
Yeah,
week.
sure.
You bet.
Thank you, John, for helping me on that actually.
My pleasure.
Next, we've got Maria and James, and then we'll go to the final question. Oh, Cheryl, if you got a question, we'll get you in there too.
Yes, and with that information on LinkedIn, I know it takes time. I don't know if you've heard of Canva.
Yeah, I'm a good fan of Canva.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I spent about 12 hours a day to make a good, content. Every day for 4 months till now, I'm spending about 12 hours each day to deliver a good content.
So, are you familiar with the bulk create
Which one?
feature?
Sorry?
The bulk create.
Book 3.8?
Yes.
No, I'm not familiar with that. Actually.
Yes. So I'm gonna put it in the chat. That is going to be your best friend. You're going to get Excel spreadsheets, CSV files where you can put all your content. You create a template in Canva, 1 or 2 of them, and then you just do the bulk create. So you can create as many as 5 or as many as 100 at a time instead of doing them one by one.
You mean
That
a
is going
scheduler?
to
It's like a scheduling tool. to schedule
No, but if you need that information, I also have a social media content, social media coach. They have a subscription where you show up they have 3 office hours where you can ask your questions and they can give you a lot of information. That's how I've been working on my marketing, and it's great. So I will put that information in the chat.
Good, great.
Next, we've got James and then Cheryl.
So Ayman, I'm going to try and impart just a little bit of guidance and try and wrap a lot of things up here with what you've been given. And Jen's laughing already. I love the content and everything else and the canvas, and it's all cool stuff. Here's what I'm going to tell you need to do. You're a brand new company and you've got to simplify everything that you're doing, which basically means is try and get very focused on solving one problem for one type of company, you know, have one way of getting to them, whether it be LinkedIn, and just do it for 12 months. It's easy as a new entrepreneur to get wrapped up in trying to do a lot of things.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Right. The problem with you spending a lot of time developing content is you're trying to develop content, but you don't know even define your unique value. Right. You're having a fear of communicating. You really don't know what your message is. You really don't know what your true client looks like.
Yes.
And so developing content is going to be so general that no one's actually going to pay attention. So you've got to you got to fix that stuff first, right? Then you can move to the content creation. I think making yourself visible is great, and you should be visible. Just don't get yourself wrapped up in spending hours and hours and hours developing reels and everything else, because you've got to get the other stuff figured out first. This is how you're going to burn up a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. And I've seen it a million times. So try and simplify. That's all it is. It's not dumb it down. Try and simplify who your client is and talk about what that is and the problem you solve. And just stick to that for the moment.
Yeah, you know, I need first to see the prospective clients and see what problem they have. Then I tailor my content based on their problem, right?
But and I'm sorry, just very quick.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. You're out there trying to look for a solution to problems versus saying, identify a problem that already exists that no one's really paying attention to. You already know what the problems are. It's about efficiency, it's about whatever, and say, you are the efficiency expert in the software space. Like, that's it. Like, try and work around that. Don't go looking for a million problems. Find one that a lot of people have, and you become the expert in fixing that problem. That's how you're going to get started.
Yeah, this is what I mean. To find the problem, I need to search on those problems. So based on my search, I will pick one problem from those and focus on that, right? Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, go.
Cheryl, you're next. You're still muted. There you go.
Yeah, and I heard this yesterday and it really resonated, and I think wraps up the themes that we're circling around. And the point was, if you build a better mousetrap, that's great, but nobody's buying one unless they've seen a mouse. You have to show them the mouse in their house to get them to buy a mousetrap. So all this advice about picking a problem, figuring out who has it, saying there's a mouse, here's the evidence, I got a mousetrap, will work. But until I know I have a mouse, I don't care about any mousetrap. So that's where I think we're all circling around this communication issue. You got to pick the mouse you're going to identify and then figure out who has that mouse. And then you may figure out that another group of people have another type of mouse and you can go after them. But the advice about pick one problem and focus on that solution and who else has it, I think is very good advice. But it really comes down to you have to show them a mouse or they're never going to care about the better mousetrap.
Yeah, that's a great strategy, actually.
Jen, why don't you ask the final question for the day since we're coming up on that time?
We are absolutely approaching quickly. John Foster, if you'll share. Ayman, again, thank you for presenting today. Is there anything else we can help you with? We've given you lots of ideas and feedback. So is there anything else we can do to help you?
Yeah, I'm appreciate your feedback at the moment that they are actually very helpful. I will start and review the presentation and see what things that mistakes and what things I can use, like finding the problem or one specific problem. Then I will provide or try to find those group of people that who has that problem and deliver it to them. I think that is a great way to achieve success, is focusing on one thing, then provide a solution to that, instead of being so general.
Well, we will have you come back in a month or two and just give us an update on where you're at.
Jen, I sold him on it already. He knows he's got to come back.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
All right, James Lawson, back to
Oh, next week's me. Oh, who knew? Who knew? I'll be presenting next week. So Ayman, hope you can come back and listen to me do my thing. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And thanks to you guys for allowing me to do that. Yeah, it's going to be great. So upcoming events. So we have a bunch. We will copy these, I think, and put them into the chat. So you can save the chat at the end, so you have everything there that you need. I don't think we need to go through this with time-wise. Can we go to the next slide, please? So here is our presenter schedule. As you can see, next week will be me. February 26th, we have Daniel McGuire from Ground Up Trade and Talent Solutions coming in. March 5th will be our next hybrid meeting, as it is the first Wednesday of the month, where we meet at George Mason. And we have open slots. So if you'd like to present at 1 Million Cups, drop us a line and we can get you into the schedule. Awesome. Next slide, please. And if you want to follow us or spread the good word, again, here is a QR code where you can get all our social media links to help us along and bring more people into our community. Next slide. So, as we said at the beginning, we have an organizer team, but we're always looking for more people. So if you want to develop your skills in leadership or collaboration, marketing or coaching, maybe even gain some visibility for your business, make friends, have fun, and contribute to entrepreneurship in our community, you can also become an organizer. Just type me into the chat and we will set up a conversation and yeah, get the ball rolling. So always looking for new high energy people to come along and help us out. Next slide, please. So that is it, my friends. Thank you so much. Stick around for a few minutes. We're 2 or 3 minutes from the hour, but thanks to everyone. Ayman, thank you for your presentation. We know that this can sometimes be a little bit stressful coming on and doing this stuff. You did very, very well, and we appreciate you doing it.
Thank you.
And hopefully the information that you've got and the guidance that you've got, you'll run with some of that at least. So thank you for doing that.
One question. Maybe one question I got for you, James, right?
Yes, sir.